Live from the Bob Devaney Sports Center, it's the 1992 Boys State Basketball Finals. Brought to you in part by Big A Auto Parts, with 60 locations to serve Nebraska. Blue Cross and Blue Shield, carry the caring card. Doane College, meeting the demands of the 21st century. Ethanol blended gasoline, better gas, cleaner air. Gillette Dairy, we stand alone in our field. Nebraska's community colleges, where Nebraska goes to college. Briggs Incorporated of Omaha, your Heil heating and cooling dealers. Peru State College, 125 years of excellence.
Three state boys basketball championship games have been completed, and 3 more are yet to go here tonight from the Devaney Sports Center. Hello, I'm Dick Janda, and again to call the action for tonight's state boys basketball championship games, Jeff Schmall with me. And Jeff, we begin with the D1 finals in the evening session now. The Humphrey St. Francis Flyers and the Wallace Wildcats.
Humphrey St. Francis is the only school that has won any state championships practically in the last 20 years in this state tournament almost. Humphrey St. Francis won in 1990, so they've got a lot of experience, a team that is familiar with the surroundings here. But I'll tell you what, this Wallace team is on a roll.
Humphrey St. Francis 24-1, ranked number 2 in Class D1. Wallace 23-1, ranked number 4. If you missed it earlier today, Omaha Benson won the Class A Boys State Championship with a 95-76 win over Hastings. Andre Woolridge scoring a Class A state tournament record 50 points to lead Benson to that victory. In Class C2 this morning, Bertrand beat Shelby 69-56 to win the C2 title. And in Class D2 this morning, Hildreth edged Brady 50-49 as Hildreth won the D2 title. Now tonight, following this D1 matchup, will be the C1 title game between Battle Creek and Tecumseh, and then the Class B championship between Ogallala and Pius. But now it's the D1 title game, the Humphrey St. Francis Flyers. 24-1, ranked number 2 in the final regular season ratings, and the Wallace Wildcats, 23-1, ranked number 4. Let's turn it over now to Roy Churchill, who will introduce the players and coaches involved in this game.
Humphrey St. Francis. They have won 24 times in 25 games, including the last 20 in a row. They are from the Cornhusker Conference. They won this class 2 years ago and are in the finals for the 6th time. Please welcome their opponent, the Blue and White Wildcats from Wallace High School. They've also had just a single loss all year with 23 victories. They are in the tournament for the 3rd time in 4 years and are making their school's first appearance in a state championship game. The non-starting team members from Wallace High School: number 11, Mike Lundgren. Number 13, Jamie Thompson. Number 15, Brandon Blasine. Number 25, Jason Franklin. Number 31, Wes Duvall. Number 41, Jesse Cope. And number 45, Josh Cobb. The non-starting team members from Humphrey St. Francis: number 10, Eric Kessler. Number 12, Dan Clausen. Number 14, Jeff Torreson. Number 20, Don Zock. Number 40, Ed Wemoff. Number 42, Eric Zock. And number 44, Steve Ramakers. Starting this afternoon for the Wallace Wildcats, number 21, a 5'10" junior, Casey Fowler. Number 23, a 6'1" senior, Matt Sheffield. Number 33, 6'4" senior Chris St. Number 35, 5'10" senior Matt Hazenhower. Number 43, 6'2" senior Ryan Smith. The head coach at Wallace, Terry Fowler. Starting for Humphrey St. Francis, number 22, 5'10" senior Ted Hazenstrider. Number 24, 5'10" junior Kevin Torreson. Number 30, 6'2" senior Todd Doman. Number 32, 6'1" senior Aaron Walden. Number 34, 5'10" junior Ken McGill. The assistant coach at Humphrey St. Francis, Dean Corsis, and the head coach, Paul Brumgard.
The officials for this D1 state championship game, Frank Brill and Randy Brohlhorst, both of Lincoln. To get here to the state finals, Humphrey St. Francis defeated Medicine Valley 74-54 in the first round, then beat Newcastle 75-49 in the semifinals last night. Wallace defeated Greeley 63-60 in the first round, then defeated Adams, the #1 team in the D1 rating, 66-61 last night, to get here to the finals. So St. Francis has not had close games in the tournament so far. Wallace has. Wallace will be in the dark blue, Humphrey St. Francis in the white, and with the play-by-play of this D1 State Boys Championship, here again is Jeff Schmalm.
Thank you, Dick. Jumping it up, Chris St for Wallace and Todd Doman of Humphrey St. Francis. And the Flyers in white control the tip. The starters, Ted Hazenhower, Kevin Torreson, Todd Doman, Aaron Walden, and Ken McGill for Humphrey St. Francis. And the Flyers on the attack. Pass underneath, having trouble controlling it, but the Flyers get it back. This is Torreson. Torreson pops it out to McGill. McGill's shot doesn't quite fall, and going up high for the rebound is Chris Sipe, and Sipe is fouled on the play.
The only loss that Humphrey St. Francis had this year was to Battle Creek, a Class C1 state tournament qualifier, and that was just by 3 points. The only loss that Wallace has had this year was to North Platte St. Patrick toward the end of the season. Both these teams like to score, Jeff. Humphrey St. Francis averages over 80 points a game. Wallace, nearly 75. At least that was their average coming into the tournament.
And a lot of times, as is the case when you have two good offensive teams, it's the one that will play the best defense that will come away with the victory. Wallace has guards Casey Fowler and Matt Hazenhower starting. Chris Sipe is their big guy in the middle, 6'4", tallest player on either team. Matt Sheffield and Ryan Smith are the forwards for Wallace. These are the Wildcats, 23-1 on the attack.
Wallace located generally in the southwest part of the state. Humphrey located in the east central or northeast.
Matt Hazenhower knocks down a three-pointer to open the scoring here as Wallace makes its first trip ever to the state finals. Jumper on the way is strong by Kevin Torreson, but he is fouled on the play. So the first ever appearance by Wallace here at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, and they get it off to a good start with Hazenhower knocking down the three.
Humphrey St. Francis, on the other hand, as you take a look at the Wallace coach, Terry Fowler, in his 5th year as head man there. Humphrey St. Francis has a long history in the state tournament, winning the D1 championship 2 years ago in 1990. Lost in the semifinals here last year and are in the state finals for their 6th time. There's their head coach, Paul Brungart, the head man at Humphrey St. Francis. The Flyers have 3 state boys basketball titles to their credit.
Torreson puts St. Francis on the scoreboard with a free throw, making 1 of 2. And now it's the Wildcats with that lead. Turnaround jumper, left hand is in by Matt Hazenhower. Hazenhower had 18 points yesterday in Wallace's upset win over top-ranked Adams, 66-61. Wallace won that game, and it looks like Matt is picking up right where he left off last night. Here's the big guy, Ted Hazenhower, can't make it go down. Hastreiter, kind of the leader of this Humphrey St. Francis team. He has had 20 and 24 points in St. Francis's first 2-round win. And now the ball taken away. Here come the Flyers. Turn it over. Nice defensive play by Casey Fowler of Wallace.
Wallace will get the ball back. They like to look inside to Chris Sipe, the 6'4" senior. Has been mentioned, the tallest man out there on the floor, and he averages 20.2 points per ball game. So Sipe, one of the only returners for Wallace this year. They brought up several players from their junior varsity team that had gone undefeated to join Sipe this year.
Sheffield shot no good. With a rebound though is Ryan Smith. And Ryan likes it, shaking his head with approval. That's the one thing about St. Francis. They are kind of a throwback as St. Francis starts just 2 players who are over 6 feet tall, and that's Todd Doman at 6'2" and Aaron Walden at 6'1". The other 3 starters are all just 5'10". So not a real big team on St. Francis's part. Trying to complete the 3-point play, and he does. Ryan Smith getting the roll, and that makes it an 8-1 game. Wallace out to a big early lead. 3-pointer on the way. McGill, no. Fight for the rebound underneath, and the Flyers come away with it. But Ataya. And on the alternating possession, Wallace will take control.
Wallace starting 4 seniors and a junior. Humphrey St. Francis starting 3 seniors and 2 juniors. So both teams pretty experienced.
Inside to Sipe. Chris's shot won't go down. And a nice rebound pulled down by Todd Doman, the 6'2" senior. 3-pointer on the way. No good by Walden. Follow shot, no good by Torreson. And Sipe has the rebound for the Wildcats. Sheffield passes away. And a foul on the play will go against St. Francis. The Flyers not off to a flying start. Take another look. Nice bounce pass. Fowler goes up, and Torreson commits the foul. That is his second personal.
And his brother, Jeff Thorsen, comes in for him, a 5'10" sophomore. Jeff Thorsen replaces Kevin Thorsen.
This free throw is good by Casey Fowler. He's in the scorebooks, and it's a 9-1 lead. Second free throw bounds around and drops as well. (10-1) our score. Hastreiter short. Pulled down by the rebound is by Torreson, and he scores. Jeff Torreson, the 5'10" sophomore, gets the first field goal of the ball game for Humphrey St. Francis.
Jeff Thorsen averages 12.5 points a game, so he really scores a lot of points coming off the bench for the Flyers.
And now Jeff will try to complete his 3-point play. 4:58 left in this first quarter. 10-3, Wallace on the early lead. Free throw way short, but with the rebound is Doman. Doman is in the books, and a nice trip down the floor for the Humphrey St. Francis Flyers as they pick up 4 and cut the lead to just 5 now. Long jumper by Hazenhower, no good. Look at Sipe get up, but it's taken away. Here comes Hastreiter. 10, takes it to the glass. It's a little strong. Torreson, tip try, still no good. 4th shot, and now a jump ball. St. Francis may be smaller, but the Flyers really get after it on the boards.
Into the game for Wallace, number 45, Josh Cobb. There you see him, a 6-foot sophomore, replacing Ryan Smith.
St. Francis gets it inbounds underneath. Todd Doman up. That tip-in is good by Ken McGill. And now a steal. This is Torreson. Yes! Jeff Torreson, and now it's 10-9 as St. Francis has reeled off 8 straight points. Hazenhower breaks the pressure, loses it, but it went off a St. Francis player, but the St. Francis defense starting to pay some dividends. Sheffield gets it inbounds to Fowler. fouled by Ted Hastreiter. That will be his first. The 4th team foul already on St. Francis.
Foul on number 22, Ted Hastreiter. The first foul, 14 foul of the half.
Sheffield again to throw it in. Ball is tipped away, almost lost. Josh Cobb comes away with a loose ball. And now Sheffield will set things up. And Hastreiter really getting after it. Wallace with the basketball and a 1-point lead, but just a minute ago it was 8. Flying through the lane, the shot is no good. Another jump ball as Cobb is tied up by Aaron Walden. And on the alternate possession, it will go over to Wallace as you see the arrow pointing to our left. The Wildcats, they get it out to Cobb. Hazenhower looked at it. Jumper on the way by Fowler is good for 3. A.C. Fowler, a 5'10" junior who averages 12.5 points a game. He's got 5 already. And now Aaron Walden can't hang on to the pass. A little bit fast on the pass. And Walden loses possession, and so it will go Wallace's way. A.C. Fowler will take it all the way. Dish off underneath to Cobb. Cobb won't get it, but he'll have a second try, and it's good by Josh Cobb, a 6-foot sophomore. And St. Francis quickly the other way. And a traveling call. Boy, old Josh Cobb does not look like a sophomore when you see him out there on the floor, does he? He's a big kid.
A 6-foot sophomore. And now Matt Hazenhower in for Wallace, 5'10" senior, back into the lineup for the Wildcats.
Wallace on the attack. Hazenhower. Bounce pass over to Cobb, way short. And a foul. The foul will go against number 23, Matt Sheffield. Sheffield nods his head in agreement. Just the 2nd team foul on Wallace. So Humphrey St. Francis will get the ball underneath the Wallace basket.
As we've mentioned, Wallace knocked off the top-ranked team in this class, Adams, in the semifinals last night. Adams, which had beaten Falls City Sacred Heart in sub-district play. Sacred Heart, a team that had won 4 straight state championships.
Hastreiter's pass is stolen and now traveling on Cobb. So St. Francis will inbound it just in front of us. This is Jeff Thorsen. Gives way inside to Doman. Todd Doman has 4. Nice little give and go play. Dribbling behind his back, Casey Fowler. Nice pass over to Chris Sipe for 2. Up and down action, 2:20 to play here in the first quarter. 17-11 our count. Wallace on top. Pass inside, jumper on the way by Wemhoff is good. Ed Wemhoff makes it 17-13. Sheffield dribbles through traffic, but not this time. And here comes Ted Hastreiter. He's pursued by Hazenhower. Hastreiter gets the roll. No basket, though. They said it was before the shot, so Hazenhower will pick up his first personal. And the basket will not count. Take another look. Oh, boy. I don't know. It almost looked like Hastreiter was off the ground on that one.
Looked like it could have been a shooting foul, but it's just a common foul, and so St. Francis will inbound.
Work it inside to Doman. Todd gets it back. Hastreiter from 3 range, way off the mark. Sipe has it. And here comes Wallace running. Nice break by Sheffield. Almost had it taken away. Sheffield wide open from 18 and says, yeah, thank you very much. And Wallace on another roll, 19-13. Sipe gets it on the turnover. Here comes Sheffield. No good. Sipe with the rebound. What a block by Hastreiter. But Ted picks up his 2nd personal foul.
Wallace has now had 6 players get into the scoring column. Casey Fowler and Matt Hazenhower each have 5 as you take another look at that last foul. Ryan Smith with 3, and Matt Sheffield, Josh Cobb, and Chris Sipe with 2 apiece. Into the game for St. Francis, Aaron Walding, number 32, a 6'1 senior, replacing Todd Doman. And Sipe will be shooting 2.
Sipe's first charity toss nudges the front of the rim and drops through the twine. Second also bounds around and drops down. So Sipe now has 4 points, and Wallace back to an 8-point lead. They've been up by as many as 9 at 10-1. Ostreider looked at it, but traveled. The Wallace Wildcats on a roll here at State. And they're continuing it here in the finals. Casey Fowler against pressure. Nice pass to Chris Sipe. Fowler gets the penetration and a nice assist to Chris Sipe, and that makes it 23-13, our biggest lead of the basketball game inside of 1 minute. Ostreider, no. Nice rebounding positioning underneath, and it's up and good by Kevin Thorsen. Thorsen now has 3 and cuts it back to an 8-point lead. 40 seconds. Sheffield to Fowler to Sipe. Nice move. Chris Sipe, the biggest man on the floor, is using his height advantage against the smaller St. Francis team. Almost losing it, but saving it in bounds was Ed Wemhoff. Shot is no good, and coming down strong with the rebound is Sheffield. 13 seconds left in the first quarter. The Wildcats would like to go up by a dozen, but it's rejected, and here comes Ostreider the other way. No call, and Ostreider gets his first 2 of the ball game as time runs out in the first half. Our score 25-17 in a high-scoring first quarter.
Looking at the scoring for Humphrey St. Francis, Ted Ostreider with the 2, Kevin Torreson with 3, Todd Doman and Jeff Torreson with 4 apiece, and Ed Wemhoff with 2. For Wallace, Casey Fowler and Matt Hazenhower with 5 apiece, Chris Sipe with 8, Ryan Smith with 3, and Matt Sheffield and Josh Cobb with 2 apiece to account for the Wallace 25 here at the end of the first period. 25-17 is the score, with Wallace opening up an 8-point lead. Omaha Benson winning the Class A Boys State Championship. Bertrand winning the C2 title, and Hildreth winning the D2 championship earlier today. And yet to go following this one is the Battle Creek Tecumseh C1 finals, followed by the Ogallala Pius Class B finals. And yes, that's right, Wahoo is not in the Class B state championship, as Ogallala upset Wahoo last night in the semifinals, 84-68, ending the Wahoo state record and nation's longest winning streak at 114 games. First quarter, Wallace has shot 9 out of 19 from the field. St. Francis, 7 out of 24.
Ken McGill has his shot blocked, and here comes Wallace the other way, all the way, but traveling. The basket waved off. Casey Fowler hit the hoop, but traveled first. Wallace keeping this half-court pressure. The Flyers have no problem breaking it. Now Wallace drops back into a 2-3 zone. Jumper on the way is good by Kevin Thorsen. And Thorsen has 5 to lead St. Francis. Second point game, 25-19. Wallace in blue on top early in the second quarter. On top, that's Fowler. Tries to get it underneath the Sipe. And the ball is finally knocked away. Todd Doman knocked it away. This is Ken McGill having trouble with it, and McGill knocks it to the floor. These teams really getting after it. Three-pointer by Torreson, yes! Kevin Torreson puts in a 3. He has 8. Quickly quickly the other way. Nice driving hoop by Matt Hazenhower. And Hazenhower has 7 in the game. Boy, these teams are getting up and down the floor.
These teams may be Class D1, but boy, they can shoot and they can score.
How about Kevin Thorsen? Another three-pointer, and he is now the first player in double figures as Torreson is hit for 11 points in the game. And it's 27-25 and a turnover. Bowman comes up with it. They throw it all the way down the floor to McGill. McGill underneath for Torreson. And St. Francis takes its first lead of the ball game, or it's tied up rather, 27-27. Jumper on the way, no good. Pulling down the rebound of his own shot is Sheffield. Matt Sheffield now has 4. Three-pointer. McGill! Holy cow! The scoreboard operator is keeping busy in this one. Driving in the lane. Cobb has it and traveled. Cobb fell over the top of a driving Matt Hazenhower. And Humphrey St. Francis with a 30-29 lead. The Flyers on a tear. Another three-pointer. No, fourth time is not the charm. Shot on the way on the rebound is still no good. And coming away with a rebound is Hazenhower. Fowler to St. St better be careful about 3 seconds. Misses the turnaround. And up high for the rebound with Hochstrader. St. Francis with 3 threes. Lot of time. No. Thorsen can't get that one to fall. But that is really putting a lot of pressure on the Wallace defense. And now Hochstrader on a reach commits his 3rd personal. Tad Hochstrader, he's kind of been the leader of this Humphrey St. Francis group here at the state tournament. And now he picks up his 3rd personal. Coach Paul Brungard is not substituted for Hochstrader yet. So Ted's going to have to be careful. Sheffield looked at it and now traveled. Substitution into the game. Jason Franklin, a 6'1 sophomore, comes in for the first time this evening for the Wallace team. He replaces Matt Sheffield. Three-pointer almost looked like McGill wanted it. Now it's taken away. This is Fowler. Fowler loses it. Hazenhower has it. He loses it. And the man just on the floor, Jason Franklin, came up with it. Three-point shot in and out. Side pass, the rebound underneath, and he's fouled. Hazenhower doesn't connect on the 3. Going to the free throw line will be Chris Sipe. Wallace perfect from the line so far in the game at 5 for 5. There you get a good look at Terry Fowler, 4th-year head coach of the Wallace Wildcats. Wallace 23-1, Humphrey St. Francis 24-1. And the two teams are playing just about dead even so far, and now it is even at 30 all.
Second time the game has been tied. Wallace jumped out to an 8-1 lead to start the game and eventually led by as many as 10, 23-13.
Sipe makes both, and he's now in double figures with 10 points. Thorsen has it again. Now Hochstrader. Ted looking at it. To get it down on the baseline, shot off the glass by Walden is no good, but he's fouled on the play. And Aaron Walden will go to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Josh Cobb picks up his first foul. And Walden, who has not scored in this game, will have 2 tries and gets the first one to fall. And now Aaron, a 6'1 senior, is in the books. Second free throw short. Sipe has the rebound. And here come the Wildcats on the attack. The ball game tied 31 all. Jumper, Fowler, no. And with a rebound is Walden. Here come the Flyers. Thorsen all the way over to Ostreider. Ted wanted it, gives way to McGill. This is Torreson. No, way off the mark. Sipe has it. And it looks like both of these teams know one gear, and that is high.
Torreson really cooling off after really being hot.
Nice bucket by Matt Hazenhower. And he now has 9 as he slashes through the lane and puts it off the glass for 2. Ostreider for 3. Yes! Ted Ostreider has a 3, and now he has 5 of the ball game, and it's 34-33. Traveling whistled against Jason Franklin. St. Francis has 4 3-pointers here in the second quarter. A couple of substitutions, Dick.
Jeff Thorsen in the game for St. Francis, number 14, replacing Kevin Thorsen. Again, they are brothers.
3-pointer in and out as McGill couldn't get it to fall. Everybody wants in on the act. Hazenhower. 3-pointer now by Fowler, in and out. And going up high for the rebound was Doman, but he throws it away right in front of us. Good basketball game. 34-33. St. Francis in front. 3:11 left in this first half of play. Hazenhower from 3. No, but Matt gets it back. And now nice pass underneath, and the shot is missed. Sipe has the rebound, though, and puts it off glass left-handed. Matt Sipe alertly gets the putback. Nice bounce pass on the baseline. Nope, somebody traveled with it, and guilty of it was Mr. McGill. Ken McGill, a 5'10 junior, travels. There's a timeout on the floor with 2:44 left in this second quarter. It is Wallace leading St. Francis, but just by 1.
Back at the Devaney Sports Center, the Wallace Wildcats with the basketball and the lead by 1, 35-34.
Casey Fowler across the timeline. St. Francis now in a man-to-man defense, and the pressure forces a turnover. Ted Ostreider still playing very aggressive defense, despite the fact that he has 3 fouls here in the first half of action. Jumper by McGill, no good. Ken trying for the rebound, can't get it away though from Matt Sheffield. And Matt has Sipe underneath. Chris traveled with it. This is Jeff Thorsen. Ostreider from 3, way short. And Sipe, or rather with the rebound, was Sheffield. Here comes Matt. Wallace doesn't even really like to outlet the ball much. They just, whoever's got it just goes with it.
Boy, and both these teams really like that long ball, don't they?
Yeah, Sheffield, no good. Ostreider has some troubles, and McGill comes for help, and he gives it back to Ted. Doman. 3 for Torreson, no good. And it goes off in Sipe's hands. Chris can't hang on. 2 Torresons in this ball game for Humphrey St. Francis. There is Kevin Thorsen, number 24, who's currently on the bench. We've got a substitution now as Ed Wemhoff comes in, and his younger brother, Jeff Thorsen. And both have an affinity for that 3-point shot. St. Francis has trouble getting it inbounds, but McGill has it outside. He likes the 3, but this one is short. Underneath, rebound, putback is no good by Walden. Fight for it underneath, no good by Doman, and Sipe goes up high for the rebound and is fouled, but we might have a double. The foul will go against Ed Wemhoff, and whether it was incidental or not, a little bit of a shove on the part of Chris Sipe. And the official just said, just warned him, probably a good no call. Somebody might have wanted a technical or a double foul, something like that. And I think the official felt that it was incidental and just said, watch it.
Kind of got tangled up, and they were just trying to kind of untangle, but he did give him a pretty good nudge.
Sipe at the free throw line has 12 in the ball game, make it 13.
You got one, fellas. 1, here we go.
Sipe is a perfect 5 for 5 from the free throw line. See if that jinxes him. Not this guy. Nice shooting motion by the 6'4" senior. And it's a 3-point lead for Wallace. 37-34. A minute and a half left in this first half. Long jumper is no good. And coming away with it is Wallace on the break. They try to get it to Sipe. Chris comes down with it, throws it back out. Hazenhower on the baseline. It's no good. And with a rebound is Walden. Walden to Thorsen. Thorsen across the timeline. He'll take it from 3 and clanks it off the board. 1 minute left now in this first half of action. Sheffield has it taken away, but traveling. Jeff Thorsen makes the nice defensive play, but he can't pick the ball off the floor, and as a result, travels with it. And now checking into the Wallace lineup, number 43, Ryan Smith, and he'll give Matt Sheffield a break. Fowler to Cobb. Back to Fowler, and now to Hazenhower. Hazenhower inside to Sipe, and that is the money man when he gets it in there. As Chris Sipe now has 16 points of the ball game. Ostreider, left side, Walden, no, and up high, but the rebound was Josh Cobb. Here comes Wallace. The Wildcats lead it by 5, 39-34. Pressure defense out front. Hazenhower gets it right back through the lane. It's good by Matt Hazenhower, who is now in double figures with 11 points. 3 seconds. Three-pointer's no good. Cobb has a rebound, and the Wallace Wildcats maintain their lead. It's 41-34. St. Francis a run in that second quarter, but Wallace rebounded, and now the Wildcats lead it by the count of 41-34. Wallace's big gun in that first half, Chris Sipe. He had 16 points, 4 for Matt Sheffield, 11 for Matt Hazenhower, 5 for Casey Fowler, all of which came in the first quarter of action. And now standing by with the Wallace head coach is Dick Janda. Dick, take it away.
Coach Fowler, your thoughts about this first half?
Well, I was really happy the way things went, especially the last couple of minutes. We had a stretch right in there where we kind of lost our composure and we ran a little too hard than what we wanted to. But overall, I think we played pretty well. And if we just continue what we're doing right now, I think we'll be fine.
Both teams really like to put up that three-point attempt.
Yeah, we both like to run and shoot the ball and play a real tough, aggressive defense. So it could be a wild second half before we're done.
What are some of the things you're going to talk about at halftime now? Some adjustments maybe that you would like to make?
Well, we need to be a little more patient on our shot selection. You know, we took some really bad shots at times, and we need to work on that. They're in a little bit of foul trouble, so, you know, we're going to try to take the ball to those people that, you know, we might get them a little more foul trouble.
All right, Coach, good luck the second half.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Jeff, let's go back over to you.
Running down the leading scores for the Humphrey St. Francis Flyers, Kevin Torreson, who lit it up with a couple of threes in that second quarter. He has 13 points, 10 of which came in the second quarter. He's the only player for Humphrey St. Francis in double figures. A couple of guys have 5. Ted Ostreider has 5. Ken McGill has 5. 4 for Todd Doman, and 4 for Jeff Torreson. 2 for Ed Wemhoff and 1 for Aaron Walden. But the three-point shots proved to be very advantageous for the Humphrey St. Francis Flyers. They hit 4 three-pointers early in that second quarter to even take the lead at one point. And the Wallace Wildcats, though, lead at 41-34. Chris Sipe has 16. Matt Hazenhower has 11. 5 for Casey Fowler, 4 for Matt Sheffield, 3 for Ryan Smith, and 2 for Josh Cobb. And we will be back with more from the Bob Devaney Sports Center right after this.
Boys basketball coach at Clearwater High School, Rick Hesse, to talk about this D1 All-State team. Coach, one of your players on the team, your thoughts about this group of guys?
Well, it looks like 10-11's done a very good job of picking some awful good players that I think are representative of the best players in Class D this year. I've had a chance to see most of the kids on this list here, and I've been impressed with the talent level in Class D this year.
And one player from your club.
Scott St. Did a nice job for us. Tremendous leader and just a good all-around person. A pleasure to coach.
Clearwater, a team that had been a fixture here at the state tournament for many years. Tell us a little bit about your season this year.
Well, we had an 18-4 season this year. We got beat out in the district finals by Butte. They played a whale of a game against us, but we're already making plans to see if we can get back here again next year.
Your thoughts about what will happen here in the second half of this D1 state championship?
You know, this is really a very entertaining game. The scoring slowed down a little bit in the second quarter, but it's the kind of game I think the fans are really going to like, and it's hard to say how it's going to go right now, I think.
All right, Coach, thanks for being with us.
You bet. Thank you.
And we'll be back with more in the second half of this D1 state championship after this timeout. Wallace leading Humphrey St. Francis 41-34 here at halftime in the D1 state championship. With me now is Humphrey St. Francis coach Paul Brungart. Coach, your thoughts about this first half?
Well, basically we didn't play the defense we thought we were going to play, so we've got to probably play a little bit better defense, a little more intense defense second half here, and maybe get our running game going a little bit more than what we're doing.
All right, Coach, good luck the second half.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And we'll be back with more the D1 state championship after this timeout.
Onto the playing floor.
Ready to go with the second half of the Class D1 State Boys Basketball Championship. The Wallace Wildcats in the blue or dark uniforms, 23-1, number 4 in the final regular season ratings. And the Humphrey St. Francis Flyers, 24-1, number 2 in the final regular season ratings. In the white, Wallace will move from left to right. Humphrey St. Francis from right to left for the second half.
This is Matt Hazenhower. Hazenhower back out to Matt Sheffield for 3. Matt Sheffield has 14 points, knocks down his second three-pointer of the ball game, and Wallace picks up right where they left off in the first half. Jumper on the way, strong, is no good by McGill, and here the other way comes Matt Hazenhower. He'll take it coast to coast, little too strong, and might be a little bit of an injury. It looked like Ken McGill holding his nose a little bit. I think he kind of got kneed in the mouth. He's grimacing a little bit there on the far side. Tough kid, though. He's back out here. Ted Hostreiter, he'll try it from 3. It's off the mark, and coming down to the rebound is Aaron Walden. Walden will set it back up to Kevin Thorsen, and shooting it up and no good was McGill. And with the ball the other way is Hazenhower. Hazenhower and Fowler, the guards for Wallace. Chris Sipe in the middle, Matt Sheffield and Ryan Smith are the forwards. That's the starting 5 for Wallace here in the second half. Fowler playing catch with it out top to Sheffield, underneath to Sipe, and he's fouled. Starting it off the second half for St. Francis, the same lineup they had in to start the first half. Ted Hostreiter, Kevin Torreson, the guards. Ted Dome in the center. Aaron Walden and Ken McGill are the forwards, and there you see the personal foul committed by Todd Doman. That will be his first. Going to the free throw line will be Chris Sipe, who leads all scorers with 16 points, including 6 of 6 from the free throw line. And Sipe knocks it in.
For those of you just joining us, the Humphrey St. Francis team, a team that's very used to being in the state tournament and in the championships, winning the D1 title in 1990, in the finals for the 6th time. They've won 3 state titles over the years, while Wallace has never won a state championship.
In fact, Wallace has never been in the state finals even. And I tell you, the Wildcats are sure representing their town very well. Here comes Wallace after the miss. Sheffield, Matt Sheffield with the left hand, doesn't get it to fall, but a foul outside, and I think that will be, nope, it'll be on number 34, Ken McGill. I thought maybe Hostreiter might have picked it up. Ted Hostreiter, the St. Francis leader, he's had 44 points in the first 2 games in the state tournament, and he has 3 fouls. Hostreiter's number 22 in white. Wallace with the basketball and a 12-point lead. They throw it inside. Hostreiter comes down with it. Hostreiter throws it all the way down the floor. And the shot is good by Kevin Torreson. Or rather, number 34, Ken McGill. McGill made it. And McGill was fouled on the play, so he will go to the free throw line. Take another look. Nice concentration by McGill in traffic. 2 men on him. Soft off the glass. And he knocks it down. The second personal whistled against Matt Hazenhower. 3-point play not completed, though, by McGill. And here comes Wallace quickly the other way. Hazenhower, jumper, off glass, good. Matt Hazenhower now with 16 in the ball game, and it's back to a dozen, 48-36. 5:55 left in the third quarter.
That equals the biggest lead of the game for Wallace.
Doman in and out. St controls the board. Sheffield out top to Fowler. Right side, Hazenhower. Baseline, St. Or rather 43, that's Ryan Smith. Now inside to St. No good. Smith keeps it alive, but it's off Ryan's fingertips. And a substitution in for Humphrey St. Francis. Jeff Torreson, a 5'10" sophomore, replaces his brother, Kevin.
Each of these teams with just one loss this season. St. Francis to Class C1 Battle Creek, who we'll see in the next state championship game, in the C1 title game, Battle Creek and Tecumseh. And Wallace with just one loss to North Platte St. Pat.
Aaron Walden knocks down the three, and it's 48-39. Humphrey St. Francis, the Flyers love the three-pointers. St. Francis crowd right behind us trying to make some noise, get a turnover. Hazenhower is fouled. Before the shot, Hazenhower was fouled. A common foul. It was whistled on Todd Doman. That will be Doman's second, third-team foul. And so Wallace will inbound it under its own basket. Get it into Fowler. Sheffield tried to find St, but a nice defensive play by Todd Doman. And here comes Thorsen. Walden, no. But Aaron has his own rebound, loses it. Ostrider comes up with a loose ball. Ostrider from three, way short. And looked like it went off McGill's hands. Yes, and it will go over to Wallace. Humphrey St. Francis, they've been knocking down the threes, Dick, but they might be depending on him a little bit too much and not getting a lot of ball movement on offense.
Kind of a live by the sword, die by the sword type of thing.
Right.
You turn cold.
Sheffield has it taken away. Ostrider on the breakaway, all by himself. Lays it up and in. 7 now for Todd Ostrider. It's 48-41, a 7-point game, midway through the third quarter. Hazenhower, nice pass to St, and St was fouled. They want to try to get an intentional foul, but no way. Ken McGill whistled for the personal. It was a very physical foul by McGill. That's his third.
And again, St gave him a little calling card, a little shove after the play was over.
Chris will have to watch that, as I'm sure Coach Terry Fowler doesn't like to see it, because do it once, it's okay. Do it twice, I might forgive you, but a third time, you might get slapped with a tee. St makes another free throw. He is perfect from the line. 9 for 9 so far. 9 for 10. Still a good percentage at 90%. Walden gets it quickly up the floor to McGill. McGill looked at it from three, has it tapped away. Wanted to take it again. Now they get it inside to Doman. Ostrider, he hasn't had much luck from three, but now he does. Ted Ostrider nails one, and he has 10 in the ball game. Almost gets a steal right in front of us. Hazenhower from 12, off too strong. Matt gets it back and puts it in. Matt Hazenhower has all of the field goals for Wallace here in the third quarter. A pair of twos and one tray. Ostrider in the corner to Walden for three, and it's long. And coming away with a rebound is Sheffield. Matt brings it up by himself. 51-44 our score. Fowler. Casey back to Hazenhower. Matt drives the baseline. Pops it back out to Fowler for three. No. And underneath, who's the foul on? Coming in with it was Matt Sheffield. And Matt, as he did on his first personal foul, shakes his head. Yep, I did it. And he picks up his second foul of the ball game. 51-44. It was this way the entire first half, as up and down, lots of action. And the only breaks we had are ones like this one. 51-44, Wallace in front. Back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, as there you see Ted Hastreiter nailing a three for the Humphrey St. Francis Flyers. But St. Francis trails it 51-44. Flyers have the basketball, though. This is Jeff Thorsen. McGill. Inside, Doman. Yes. Todd Doman scores his first field goal since the first quarter, and Todd now has 6. St. Francis has depended almost entirely on outside shooting. They haven't worked the ball inside very much at all. Outside shooting and breaks. Three-pointer off the mark by Sheffield. And the Flyers come away with it, but it's stolen away by Hazenhower. Matt will take it all the way. It's good, and he fouls. Matt Hazenhower going to town here in the third quarter. He now has 20 points in the ball game and a chance to make it 21. Another look as the man who threw it away, Todd Doman, then committed the personal, adding insult to injury. And Hazenhower would like to put a little more salt in that wound by completing the three-point play. Doesn't do it. And coming away with a rebound is Aaron Walden. A foul. McGill wanted to shoot the three, and they're going to let him shoot 3 free throws. As the foul went against Casey Fowler.
Foul was on Casey Fowler, his first. 13th foul of the half.
And going to the free throw line to shoot 3 will be Ken McGill.
And when you know it, the guy named Fowler hadn't had any fouls until just now.
Ken McGill at the free throw line.
St. Francis has made 6 three-pointers. Wallace has made 3, so the teams have combined for 9 three-point goals already with 2:15 to go, third quarter.
McGill misses his first. Josh Cobb, the 6-foot sophomore, is checked back into the Wallace lineup. And now McGill misses the second. He's 0 for 3 from the free throw line in the ball game. Ken has 7 points. Will he go 0 for 3? No. Perfect on the last one. And checking into the St. Francis lineup will be Kevin Torreson. Thorsen comes in, and McGill will take a spot alongside head coach Paul Brungard. Driving the lane, Fowler has it stripped. And here comes Hastreiter. Ted wants to take it to the hole, does. It's partially blocked by Sipe, but they call the foul on Mr. Sipe. Wallace leads at 53-47, and a big reason is free throws. Wallace 13 of 14. St. Francis just 3 of 9. Huge differential on the free throw shooting. Hastreiter would like to improve on that statistic for the Flyers as he shoots 2. And he does. Nice rotation on the ball. A lot of times with those free throws, you don't even have to watch it. You just watch the ball leave the shooter's hand, and you can almost tell if it's in or not. This one's in. See? Okay, let's throw that theory out the window. Matt Hazenhower the other way. His team leading it, but just by 5 now, inside of 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Sheffield. You can really tell that Humphrey St. Francis has picked up the defensive intensity. Sheffield misses, tries to get it, but Hastreiter has the loose ball. Ted seems to be everywhere. Torreson, he's a good three-point shooter, in and out. Torreson had a pair of threes in the second quarter that helped bring St. Francis back. Little bit of trouble out front between Fowler and Sheffield. Fowler comes away with it, though. Hazenhower to Sipe, inside, Cobb, back to Sipe. They move it around quickly, Wallace does. Oh, would have been a good pass, but Josh Cobb was not quite ready for it. And he realizes he probably should have kept moving through the lane, but he stopped in the middle of the lane. And so the ball went out of bounds. 1 minute left in the third quarter. St. Francis trailing by 5. Doman is fouled. And it will go against Josh Cobb. And now going to the free throw line will be Todd Doman. Flyers would like to find somebody to hit some free throws. They'd be leading if they were shooting a fair percentage of free throw shots. Bounds around, no good by Doman. Second one off, but with a rebound is Walden. Aaron turns, fires, no good. Cobb has a rebound as he's up strong with it. Sheffield almost loses it, gets it back. Matt, a 6'1" senior, sets it up. Fowler. Sheffield. Like to get it inside the sight. Hazenhower will drive, shoot from 15, missed, but Matt has his rebound, and he walked with it.
Good call by Randy Brohlhorst, the official from Lincoln, who is working this game with Frank Brill, as the step was taken and traveling the call.
30 seconds left in the third quarter. St. Francis would like to make a bigger dent. Oh, way off, but underneath it, put up and in by Aaron Walden, or by Kevin Thorsen. Thorsen makes it. Hastreiter gets the steal right back, in and out. And Hastreiter picked up his 4th foul, maybe in frustration. That time Ted got the turnover, but he probably should have waited for the cavalry as he was a 1-on-3 situation. Still tried to complete it, missed the layup, and then committed his 4th personal foul. And now Ted will take a spot on the bench as Ken McGill checks back in for the St. Francis Flyers. And I have a feeling that Ted Hastreiter will have trouble with 4 fouls because he appears to play one way, and that is all out. A near turnover as Casey Fowler tossed it over there to the far side. Kevin Torreson looked like he had the steal, but it went off Kevin's hands. So Wallace will keep possession. A 3-point game, 10 seconds left in the third quarter. And a foul away from the ball by Kevin Torreson of Humphrey St. Francis, and that will be Torreson's 3rd personal. And that one really hurts because Wallace is in the bonus situation. And if Chris Sipes continues to shoot free throws the way he has, this is just as good as a basket. And now checking back in for Humphrey St. Francis is Ed Wemhoff, a 5'10" junior. Kevin Torreson will go out and make sure he doesn't pick up his 4th personal foul. Or rather, he has. He's got 4 as well. Torreson has 4. So a couple players for St. Francis having some problems with it. Sight misses the free throw. There's only 2 seconds left. Shot on the way by Fowler. No good off the front of the rim. We've played 3 quarters, and it's a 3-point ball game. Wallace leading 53-50.
Back at the Devaney Sports Center, we're ready to go with the 4th quarter of this, the D1 State Championship, and it's just a 3-point game.
And St. Francis with their 3-point shooters could tie it 1 trip down the floor. McGill opts for the 2, misses. Doman has it knocked away. This is Walden. He's short. Another try, and it's in! What a shot by Ken McGill! A hope and a prayer by McGill. Look at this one. That's something Michael Jordan would be proud of. And a chance to tie the ball game. McGill. No, but Ken has the rebound. Puts it up again. No. And now over the back, I believe, was Ed Wemhoff. Wemhoff over the back. St. Francis still pitiful free throw shooting, 4 out of 14 now. Wallace is 12 out of 15. And that, folks, is the huge difference in this ball game. Wallace has outscored St. Francis by 8 at the free throw line. And they lead it by 1. And it's in, out, and in for Josh Kopp.
Both teams shooting in the 30% range from the field, but boy, Wallace with the big advantage from the free throw line.
And Cobb, the 6-foot sophomore, knocks them both home. And it's back to a 3-point lead, 55-52, early in the fourth quarter. Give and go. Doman, yes. Todd Doman has 8. Tough defense. Hazenhower having trouble. St. Francis in that man-to-man. Inside, Sipe tries a fancy pass. It gets away. Casey Fowler tries to get it to Sipe. It's off the glass, and Sipe is fouled.
Boy, Sipe tried to whip that pass, kind of Larry Bird style, no luck, and he just whacked it right into the head of Todd Doman of St. Francis, and he's still trying to blink it away as he really got beamed.
There you see the foul, and Sipe, who made his first 9 free throws in the ball game, has missed his last 2. Has the magic gone out of his free throws? Not according to that toss. And Sipe now has 20 to equal the team high 20 by Matt Hazenhower. Sipe's second try, also perfect. And it's 57-54. Near steal by Fowler. 3-point try by Wemhoff. Nope, he gives way. And the shot is way short by Walden.
Ted Hostreiter is up off the bench. He's going to come back in for Humphrey St. Francis despite having 4 fouls.
Sipe in traffic. 3 seconds. Good pressure defense by the Humphrey St. Francis Flyers. And there you see Ted Hostreiter, but he will have to be careful as he has 4 personal fouls.
Ed Wemhoff goes to the bench for St. Francis.
Jeff Thorsen almost has it taken away. Nice try by Matt Sheffield. And now it's tipped away, and Wallace will keep, or rather St. Francis will keep possession. This is Jeff Thorsen, 5'10" sophomore. Right side to McGill. Inside, Doman, short. Nice rebound by Cobb. Here comes Wallace. Hazenhower wants to drive. Cut off by Doman. Along the other side, this is Sheffield. Yes! Matt Sheffield with 6. And it's a 5-point lead, 59-54. Traveling, yep. Traveling, no doubt about it. Jeff Thorsen wanted to argue it, but it was a good call. The Wildcats with the basketball and a 5-point lead. Inside to Sipe. And will it be an offensive? Nope, traveling. Traveling call. Coach Terry Fowler looks out at Chris Sipe and says, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Keep it going. Across the timeline, Hostreiter. This is McGill. No, Cobb with the rebound. Tell you, the young sophomore is doing a nice job on the boards for Wallace, Dick.
Doesn't have a lot of points or a lot of flashy moves, but he can get the rebounds.
It's what they call a wide body, and it's not that he's all that wide, just strong, big kid. 6 foot tall, but I have an idea that he's on the Wallace football team. Get a good look at Josh there, 6 foot sophomore. And at the free throw line is Matt Hazenhower. Hazenhower knocks it down. And I tell you, Wallace doing a nice job from the free throw line in this ball game. Second by Hazenhower. Bounds around and drops. And he now has 22 points. There's a timeout on the floor. Wallace leads Humphrey St. Francis 61-54. The Flyers need to get going.
Back at the Devaney Sports Center, another look here at Wallace and Matt Sheffield with the layup. Wallace has 22 turnovers to just 12 for St. Francis, but the big story again, the free throws. Wallace 18 of 21, St. Francis 4 of 14.
Wallace applying good defensive pressure, but Casey Fowler maybe gets a little too much pressure.
First foul, 17 foul.
And that will be the 17th foul. So going to the line to shoot a 1-and-1 will be Ken McGill.
And both teams in the 1-and-1 now for the rest of the game. So free throws are going to probably decide this one. And St. Francis 4 out of 14 at this point. Make it 5 out of 50.
Not a very good percentage, 33%. McGill had been 1 for 5 until he made that, so he's 2 for 6, right on that percentage of St. Francis. Second one, looks off, is off, but McGill has the rebound. Three-pointer by Torreson. No, not quite, but look at McGill hustle. Torreson will try it again. Yes! Jeff Torreson nails the three, and it's 61 to 58. A nice trip down the floor by St. Francis that time as they pick up 4 and knock it down to a 7-point lead. 61-58. This is Fowler. Casey has it taken away and then commits the personal foul, and he's holding his shoulder. Looked like he ran into the knee of Aaron Walden, and that's smarts. Take a look. Nope, not into the knee, kind of into the hip. But Walden was holding his lower leg. Fowler has his 3rd personal, and with 5:11 left, going to the free throw line will be Aaron Walden. He's 1 for 2 from the line today.
Fowler's going to have a sore shoulder tomorrow.
Yeah, he will. And that one wasn't even close. Hazenhower stops, pops, but travels. I guess he didn't stop quite soon enough.
Just one too many steps, moved his feet a little bit too much.
And I don't know why the officials, they just don't allow that one too many. Too picky, I guess. Underneath, all alone, it's Doman. Todd Doman on the nice pass. Puts in 2, and it's a 1-point game, 61 to 60. The St. Francis Flyers making a move. And the St. Francis crowd gets into it. Sipe is fouled. Chris Sipe will go to the free throw line. There you see Paul Brungard.
Paul seems to be taking this quite in laid-back fashion for being a 1-point game in the state championship.
He's competitive, though. Free throw no good by Sipe. It's tipped around and controlled by Humphrey St. Francis. The Flyers, a chance to take the lead. The St. Francis crowd will erupt with a bucket this time down the strip. Ostrader to McGill. McGill from 3. In and out, and Sipe goes high for the rebound. It's going to be taken away, though. Nope. Back the other way with Sipe, and now a foul. The action fast and furious. And Doman picks up, I believe, his 5th personal foul. This will go against Todd Doman, a 6'2 senior, and he has fouled out. Kevin Torreson has 4 fouls, and Ted Hostrider has 4 as well. Into the free throw line will be Chris Sipe. And scratching his brow is Paul Brungard, because he knows his team is in a little bit of trouble. And Coach Paul Brungard wants to talk things over. With 4:14 left, we've got a break in the action. Wallace leads at 61 to 60. Back to live action. Chris Sipe at the free throw line for a 1-and-1, and he knocks it down. Chris Sipe now with 22 points. He'd love to make it 23 and a 3-point ball game. Second free throw, in and out, and Hostrider goes high for the rebound. Here comes Ted, his team trailing by 2. Hostrider has to be careful. He has 4 fouls, and he traveled with it. St. Francis has never really seemed to get in sync today, Dick, in that half-court offense. They have not moved the ball particularly well, and that has cost the Flyers, as well as poor free throw shooting.
Much as anything, both these teams just like to bring it down, cast up threes.
Right. Turnaround by Sipe is good. Nice strong move by Chris Sipe. He makes his first field goal of the second half. And that's, I'm sure, something Wallace would like to do a little bit more, is get the ball inside to Sipe's hand, especially with Dolman fouling out of the ball game. The big player for St. Francis. Jumper, no good by Torreson. Fight for the rebound, and coming away with it, it's Hazenhower. Hazenhower, one-on-one, it's blocked, but a foul on Jeff Torreson. That will be the second personal foul on Jeff Torreson, and going to the free throw line to shoot a pair will be Matt Hazenhower.
There's some good straightaway speed shown by both those players there, as Hazenhower will be at the line. There's a look at the St. Francis bench.
Matt Hazenhower, a 5'10 senior, will go to shoot two. He's 2 for 3 from the line so far today, and make it 2 for 4. Hazenhower with 22 points. 24 points for Chris Sipe to lead the Wallace Wildcats. Second one by Hazenhower is good. And the lead is now 65-60. A 4-0 run by the Wallace Wildcats. Way out, it's good by Ted Hastreiter. That was nearly an NBA three by Hastreiter, and just that quick, the St. Francis team is back to within 2, and there's a turnover. Here comes Walden, and Walden is fouled by Matt Hazenhower. That will be Hazenhower's third personal, and Walden will go to the free throw line.
Boy, how about that three-point shot by Hastreiter? That was from way out, and he really nailed it.
Kind of one of those where the coach says, no, that's too far out. Oh, nice shot.
Yeah.
Walden at the free throw line for a 1-and-1, and he makes it. It's perfect. And now St. Francis could tie it up just that quickly. Boy, every time it seems like Wallace is opening up a lead, St. Francis comes down and just nails a three or something and gets right back in it. Hastreiter with a rebound, and he's fouled and scores! Ted Hastreiter, the 5'10 senior, gets the rebound and scores. With 3:04 left, St. Francis has taken the lead. There you get another look as Cobb is whistled for his third personal foul. And now Hastreiter a chance to complete a three-point play. And it's good! 7 straight points for Humphrey St. Francis, and it's 67-65 the Flyers, and a foul on the floor. Sipe will go to the free throw line to shoot a 1-and-1.
Boy, 2 big clutch plays there by Hastreiter. He'd been on the bench with 4 fouls. Then he came in, knocked down that 3, then made that big three-point play the old-fashioned way. And that can get your team back in the game in a hurry.
Sipe, who has 24 points in the game, 12 of which have come from the free throw line. He's 12 of 16 and misses. And who's got the rebound? A foul will go against Hazenhower, and that will be Matt's 4th personal foul. Matt doesn't like it, and going to the free throw line will be Ted Hastreiter.
Who else? Boy, he has really been doing the job here in these last few minutes.
Hastreiter, though, has 4 personal fouls.
St. Francis has made 12 field goals this half. Wallace just 6.
Hastreiter in and out. And here comes Wallace the other way, trailing by 2. Cobb on the fast break off the glass, a little too hard. Hastreiter has the rebound. St. Francis with 2:45 to go. Now let's see what the Flyers do with a lead. They have trailed almost the entire basketball game. And it looks like St. Francis wants to maybe run a little clock. McGill, no. Cobb with a block, and he'll save it. But Hastreiter has it, and he's fouled. You know, I don't know that I've ever seen that before. In all the years of covering basketball, the ball went through the bottom of the net and went back down through. And fouling out of the game is Kevin Torreson. Take a look at this.
Well, you couldn't really see the basket there, but I tell you, Hastreiter's putting them in from both ways.
Hastreiter will go to the free throw line to shoot 2, and that will really hurt as Wallace's Matt Hazenhower has fouled out of the ball game. 67-65, St. Francis in front, but the free throw way short. And now a foul will go against Matt Sheffield. Matt Sheffield commits a personal, and a timeout is wanted by Wallace coach Terry Fowler. 67-65. Not long ago, it was 65-60, Wallace in front, but that was before Ted Hastreiter went on his own personal vendetta. He has scored 6 points and brought his team back.
You know, this game wouldn't really even be close if Humphrey St. Francis was making any kind of percentage from the free throw line. They lead it by 2 right now, but there's really a big difference there. Well, we've had 3 state champions crowned already. Omaha Benson in Class A, Bertrand in Class C2, and Hildreth in Class D2. Now, don't forget the C1 title game between Battle Creek and Tecumseh is coming up after this one. And then the Class B title game between Ogallala and Pius will cap off our day and night of coverage, as Ogallala, the team that upset Wahoo and ended their long winning streak, will meet Pius, a team that won in overtime last night over Lexington to get to the B finals.
And at the free throw line will be Kevin Torreson for a 1-and-1. He makes it. Thorsen now has 16 points in the ball game. And with this one, he could tie Ted Hastreiter for game-high honors for the Flyers. And he makes it. 2 big free throws. And the run continues, 69-65, 9 straight points. They tried to get it into Sipe. It's taken away. The ball's on the floor. Shot is up and no good. Second try is no good as well by Ryan Smith. But Smith is fouled and will go to the free throw line. Ryan has been kind of quiet. He has 3 points in the ball game, but all came in the first quarter. But he just ignited that time down the floor. And now Paul Brungard wants to take a timeout and talk things over with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in this basketball game. The D1 state championship between the Humphrey St. Francis Flyers and the Wallace Wildcats has been a wild one.
The next game, the Class C1 championship with Battle Creek and Tecumseh. Battle Creek, a team that has been a very familiar one in the state girls basketball championships, but the boys team in the state finals for the first time. While Tecumseh, a team that had not been rated going into the district tournaments, a Class B runner-up back in 1954, and so 2 teams in the Class C1 title game that really in the boys tournament haven't been there all that much. Neither has ever won a state championship in the C1 game, Battle Creek and Tecumseh.
Well, Ryan Smith is 1 for 1 in free throws so far today. His team is 20 of 27. St. Francis just 9 of 24 free throw shooting. But the Flyers lead it by 4. No good. Ryan Smith misses. He'll get 1 more try to make it a 3-point game. The St. Francis crowd making as much noise as they can. And it's way short. And with a rebound is Torreson. Torreson almost has it taken away by Cobb. Here's Hastreiter. Ted gives off to Kevin Torreson. Torreson across the timeline. St. Francis wants to milk the clock a little bit with 2 minutes left. And they've got a good ball handling team. This is McGill. This team can really play catch with it. Hastreiter to Torreson to McGill. And a foul. Foul will go on Ryan Smith, his second. Probably a good foul right there. Who's going to the free throw line will be Aaron Walden, who has been 2 for 5 from the line today. And you have the feeling if St. Francis can connect on the free throws, that they will win the state championship for the 2nd time in 3 years. Walden is good. Walden hits and earns the bonus as you look at Paul Brungard. the head coach of the St. Francis Flyers. Second free throw, perfect. So just when they need it, St. Francis starts to heat up from the free throw line. And now it's a 6-point game and an 11-point run by St. Francis. It's been a long drought by Wallace at just the time you don't want it. And it's turned back over. That's the time that St. Francis really didn't need to try for a fast break. Two men go down on the floor. Sipe shoots it and scores. Chris Sipe scores, as I think two St. Francis players might have run into each other. And it's back to a 4-point game, and now a foul will go on Josh Cobb. That will be Josh's 4th personal. And going to the free throw line will be Ken McGill, and maybe no better player to send to the line if you're a Wallace fan than McGill, at least so far today. McGill is just 2 of 6. And now another timeout will be taken. The Wallace Wildcats trail it 71-67 with 1:09 to play. An 11-point run with 4 minutes and 14 seconds left, Dick, in this 4th quarter. Or rather, with just inside of 4 minutes, it was 65-60. And in about the last 3 minutes, Wallace has been outscored 11-2. And as a result, the Wildcats trail it by 4. Still plenty of time, though. But one of the top players on Wallace's part, Matt Hazenhower, has fouled out of the ball game. He finishes his high school career with 23 points in the championship game, a 5'10 senior. Chris Sipe leads all scorers in the game with 26, a 6'4 senior. Big free throws by Ken McGill, a 5'10 junior. A 1-and-1. Wallace fans hoping for a miss. The fingers crossed on the part of the St. Francis fans. No good, but a rebound by Kevin Torreson. What a big rebound by Kevin Torreson as he skies for it. And now St. Francis will milk the clock again. Underneath, Hastreiter's all alone. It's good! And he's fouled! Ted Hastreiter was all alone underneath. And a nice assist from Kevin Torreson. Torreson made the assist, and a 4th foul whistled on Ryan Smith. And now Hastreiter a chance to complete the 3-point play. And another timeout. The Humphrey St. Francis fans and players starting to celebrate a bit, but I'm sure Paul Brungard says, hey fellas, this thing isn't over yet. 73-67, 56 seconds remain.
Especially considering the way both of these teams shoot 3-pointers. Humphrey St. Francis, having won the D1 championship in 1990, going for their 2nd state title in the last 3 years, lost in the semifinals last year, in the finals for the 6th time. Wallace never having won a state championship, never having been in the state title game. The only loss this year for Wallace till now was to North Platte St. Patrick. The only loss for St. Francis this season to C1 Battle Creek, a team that we will see in the next game, the C1 title contest.
Ted Hastreiter has 8 points here in the 4th quarter, and he has been the man for the St. Francis Flyers as they have made their comeback. 3-point play completed, and Hastreiter now has 20 in the ball game, and it's a 7-point lead. Sipe back out top. This is Sheffield in and out, and the ball will go against off of a Wallace player and in favor of St. Francis. 47.7 seconds to play. This is where St. Francis is at its best. They can really handle the basketball, the Flyers can. And there's a foul. Casey Fowler picks up his 4th. And now not many of the players out on the floor can afford to give up fouls on the Wallace Wildcat end. A couple of guys with 4 fouls now. Cobb has 4, Smith has 4, Fowler has 4. Sipe still has a couple to give. And Matt Sheffield has a couple to give. And a 1-and-1 for Kevin Torreson. Torreson with 17 points in the ball game. The best free throw shooter today so far, 3 of 4, and now 4 of 5. And I'll tell you what, St. Francis, awful free throws through 3.5 quarters, but when it has come down to crunch time, the Flyers have been nearly perfect. This one doesn't fall, though. And the other way is Ryan Smith. Smith will take it all the way and score. Ryan Smith for 2. St. Francis gets it in bounds quickly, and Cobb commits his 5th personal foul. And Hastreiter will go to the free throw line to add to his total of 20 points. It's 75-69. Checking in to the Wallace lineup, number 41, Jesse Cope, a 5'11 junior. And a well-deserved round of applause to Josh Cobb by the Wallace fans. Free throw good by Hastreiter. And Ted will earn the bonus. Second free throw. Perfect. And that could just about do it. Wallace trailing by 8. 30 seconds to play. Long three-pointer, no good. With a rebound is Fowler, no good. And Humphrey St. Francis comes away with it. And I think, Dick, we're going to have another one of those cases of a game maybe being about a 10, 12-point game, but much closer than that in reality. And fouling out is Ryan Smith. He commits his 5th personal foul. And a big, huge key in this basketball game as Wallace will bring in its subs. A huge key is Ted Hastreiter, who picked up his 4th foul late in the 3rd quarter. He came back in early in the 4th quarter and did not commit any more personals, and he personally has led St. Francis back to victory.
11 points in the 4th quarter for Hastreiter. Let's pick up some of these subs for Wallace. Mike Lundgren, 5'11 junior in there. Jamie Thompson, another 5'11 junior. Brendan Lachine, 5'8 sophomore.
Walden still can't hit it, but look at Ted Hastreiter. The guy is still going after it full bore. It's probably amazing that he hasn't fouled out of the ball game as hard as he's played. Eric Zock checks in for Humphrey St. Francis, a 6'2 senior. And here comes Ted Hastreiter to the bench as Eric Kessler replaces him. Hastreiter, a 5'10 senior, given a standing ovation by the St. Francis crowd. There's a timeout on the floor. Wallace wants a timeout as St. Francis leads it 77-69 with 16 seconds to play.
Looks like Humphrey St. Francis will win its 2nd state basketball championship in the last 3 years and their 4th state championship overall since 1940.
And amazingly, Dick, we started the show out, the broadcast out at 9:30 this morning, talking about all the rash of new teams in this year. No more Sacred Hearts, Wahoos, Millard South, Grants. A lot of those perennial champion teams not even in the finals this year. Kind of some new blood. The ball goes out of bounds. And about the only team that has had any state experience recently, at least winning a state championship, St. Francis, the only team in the finals of the 12, as a three-pointer is knocked down by Eric Zock at the buzzer. And St. Francis wins the state championship with an 80-69 victory. 30 points scored in that final 8 minutes of play by the St. Francis Flyers. And there you see the elated St. Francis Flyer crowd. And on the floor, congratulations to both sides. Wallace played a heck of a ball game. They led after the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd quarters, but St. Francis roared back in the final period to win the ball game. And we will be back with the medal and trophy presentations right after this.
Humphrey St. Francis has won the Class D1 Boys State Basketball Championship with an 80-69 win over Wallace in the finals. The Wallace Wildcats getting their runner-up medals, as we'll run down their individual scoring. Chris Sipe led the way with 26 points. He led all scorers in the game. Matt Hazenhower had 23, and they were the only two men in double figures for Wallace. Matt Sheffield had 6. Casey Fowler and Ryan Smith 5 each. Josh Cobb with 4, and that accounts for the 69 Wallace points. For Humphrey St. Francis, Ted Hostreiter led the Flyers with 22 points. He had tournament scoring games, 20 in the first, 24 in the second, and 22 here in the third tournament game. 66 tournament points for Ted Hostreiter. 18 for Kevin Thorsen in this game. 11 for Ken McGill and 10 for Todd Doman. 4 men in double figures for St. Francis. 7 each for Aaron Walden and Jeff Torreson. 3 for Eric Zock and 2 for Ed Wimoff to account for the St. Francis 80 points. Now let's turn it over to PA announcer Roy Churchill for the presentation of medals and the state D1 championship trophy to Humphrey St. Francis.
Hand out the gold medals to your championship team members. We'll introduce them one by one. Number 10, Eric Kessler. Number 12, Dan Clausen. Number 14, Jeff Torkson. Number 20, Don Sack. Number 40, Ed Wimoff. Number 42, Eric Zock. Number 44, Steve Romakers. Number 22, Ted Hastreiter. Number 24, Kevin Torkson. Number 30, Todd Doman. Number 32, Aaron Walding. And number 34, Ken McGill. The 1992 Nebraska D1 high school basketball champion is Humphrey St. Francis. Congratulations, players and coaches.
And we'll be back to look at the final stats in this D1 state title game after this timeout. Humphrey St. Francis wins the Class D1 State Boys Basketball Championship with an 80-69 win over Wallace in the state finals. A look at the final stats shows that St. Francis shot 32.2% from the field, 28 of 87, while Wallace made 23 of 62 for 37.1%. A big story, the free throws. Even though Wallace had 20 of 29 for 68.9%, St. Francis only had 15 of 33 for 45.5%, but still won the game. Each team with 48 rebounds, 28 turnovers for Wallace, and 16 for Humphrey St. Francis. But the final again, Humphrey St. Francis 80, Wallace 69, and we'll be back to talk with the winning coach and his players after this timeout.